Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to Raider Reach. This is the podcast where we reach out to our school community and beyond to share the inspiring story of our Raiders. From the classrooms to the extracurriculars, we'll explore the people, events, and the moments that make this district truly unique. Thank you for joining us. We're going to dive on in and tell our Raider story. My name is Megan Hogg, and I am the District Director of Communication and Community Partnerships. And that's a really big title, but what it really means is I am the touch point for the district to the community, and I help all of our staff inside the district be aware of what's going on and kind of have that communication. So, I don't think I've ever really mentioned, what all I do, but this is just a piece of it, and it's really a really fun part of my job. And today I'm really excited about it because I get to have a student and a teacher on the show, and they happen to be a mother-daughter team. So I want to welcome a 6th grade ELA or RLA. RLA is what we call it now, Reading Language Arts teacher, Miss Jami Yaws. Hey, Miss Yaws.
Hi.
And her daughter, 8th grade student, Allison. Hey, Allison.
Hey.
Okay. So we are excited that they're here today. I know we always love it when we have students on because they are the reason that we do what we do. But today is extra special because we get to see the perspective of not only another teacher in our district and hear their story, but the perspective of another student and how it is to be a teacher's kid and to have your kids on campus with you. So I think it's going to be great. So we're going to start off. Miss Yaws, can you tell us a quick version of your educational journey? How did you get to where you are now?
Mine was a long one because I thought I wanted to be a Kilgore Rangerette.
Oh.
Yeah, dancing was my life since 3.
Yeah.
And I love the high kick part of it, so I thought that was my path.
Did you do drill team in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were national champions, international champions.
Where'd you go to high school?
In Victoria.
Oh, you went to Victoria?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to Victoria High or East? Or?
It was Victoria High, and then my senior year is when we consolidated. And so we became Memorial High School at that point.
I used to live in El Campo.
Okay.
So right down 59.
Yeah.
So Victoria, we lived on, El Campo's in the middle between Sugar Land and Victoria. So you could go 30 minutes towards Houston and go shopping in Sugar Land, or you could go 30 minutes towards Victoria and go get shopping in Victoria. And sometimes it was nice to go to Victoria because it's a little bit less traffic.
Right.
And a little bit
We used to have some restaurants and a mall. Yeah.
You had Target, and Chick-fil-A,
that's right.
all the necessities, Starbucks, all the things.
Yeah.
So, interesting. I didn't know that. What was your drill team's name?
The Victoria Doors.
Victoria Doors.
Yes.
Okay.
Victoria Doors. And we went to Florida, we did California, and we competed against Japan, and I forgot the other international country, but we won. So we were national champions and international champions, and that was my life for a while. But I went to Kilgore for a camp before tryouts, and
you realized maybe this isn't...
I think it was too far from home. From Victoria to Kilgore is a pretty far leap. Yeah. And then everyone already had friends and cliques. And I know now as an adult, I would have made friends. And, but looking back, I don't know. So I decided it wasn't for me. But then it was past the point of turning in college,
applications to other places.
Yeah. And so I stayed in Victoria and went to Victoria College my freshman year.
Yeah.
And then I got transferred and went to Texas A&M University in College Station. And I was there for 3 years. But it didn't really, I think it was because if I had started off at A&M, I would have loved it more. But I had a year under my belt of community college.
So it was different as a transfer?
It was different only because of the small things. Like I enjoyed being able to drive my car and park in the front row and just walk into class. Taking the bus was not for me.
Yeah. You can't just park in front of the building and walk into class at a big school like A&M.
No, and you would normally have to... The bus would take you to campus, and then you would have to get on another bus to get to a different part of campus. And so I didn't care for that. I had classes that were over 200 students. Yeah. That was not for me. I liked my 15, 20, cap. And in fact, I was in a special education class where that week we were talking about we were doing sign language in class. And so he had us practice sign language, and the way he took attendance every day was he would randomly call random people's names because it was over 200 people. Well, this week he had us stand up and say our name in sign language, and he called my name, and I just sat there. I was not going to stand up in front of 200 people, even though I was there. I was there, and I just took the absence because...
It was so daunting to do that.
Yes,
for
it
that
was not
big
for
of a
me.
crowd.
Yeah. And so after 3 years, it was hard convincing my parents. I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I think I can do better at a smaller class. And so I ended up transferring to the University of Houston, Victoria.
Okay,
And
I was going to say, did you end up at UHV?
I did.
I have several students that ended up, or they went to UHV.
Yeah.
And they've since then, because we moved back here from El Campo in 2019. So I taught high school, and I taught AVID, which is a college prep kind of elective class for first generation students.
Okay.
College students. And so a lot of my students have graduated from now. So it's a really good fit for a smaller environment with good education. So.
It was great. But I think I would have done better at A&M if I didn't have that experience beforehand. But I was comparing. I was like, I don't know. So
but all of it's part of your journey.
It is.
Which helps you to understand different people now. So
And met my husband.
Oh,
Things would have worked out completely
different. Did you
different.
meet him at A&M?
No, but when I moved back home.
Okay, so there you go. It worked out.
Yep.
See, it worked out for you too, because if she would have met your dad, then we would be sitting here. What would we be doing? We wouldn't have the joy of knowing Allison here. So, all right. So Allison. Oh wait, let's talk to your mom a little bit about. Tell us what all you've taught before, Jami.
Well, reading is my passion. So I've done 6 years. Stafford MSD was my first job, and I'm in Stafford, Texas, and I taught 6th grade. I did teach social studies then too, but I was there for 5 years. And then I was able to stay at home with the twins. Allison has a twin brother, Jake, and so I was able to stay at home with them. And then when they went to school, it was in Corpus. We moved to Corpus Christi, and so I started working at the School of Science and Technology.
Okay.
I did 7th grade reading there.
Okay.
And then my husband's job brought us here.
Yeah.
So now we're 6th grade reading.
And how many years have y'all been here?
This is 5th year, maybe 5 years.
5 years?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of flown by.
It really has.
Yeah. So, all right. So you have been, and when you came here, the intermediate school was still.
Yeah,
6th
we were
grade was a part of
intermediate.
intermediate. And then, so you were there when we made that transition for 6th grade to be a part of middle school. So that was a big year. And I can tell you from working with Jami at the middle school, she's a phenomenal teacher. She taught my kid, and I know you're a blessing to so many there. So,
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So thanks for all that you do on that part. But Allison, so let's talk about what's really important. Are you older than your twin brother, or is he older than you?
I'm older than him by a minute.
Okay, and I'm sure you remind him of that, don't you?
Every bit the older sister.
Yes, that is important, and I'm glad that you do. So you're older than Jake by 1 minute. That's important. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, when did you start school in Lumberton? Do you remember what grade you were in?
3rd grade.
3rd grade. So 3rd through 8th grade. And then, what are some activities or hobbies that you like doing outside of school?
I really like dancing. Like I'm trying out for Raiderette soon.
Yeah.
And I like golfing with my dad and my brother.
Oh, I love that. That's cool. And what is your favorite subject?
If I had to choose, probably science.
Science. Awesome. Yep. Got some good 8th grade science teachers. So I love that. Okay. So let's talk to Miss Yaws. Jami, what is it like being both a teacher and a parent of students, because you have 2 at LMS on your own campus? Like, how do you think that changed your perspective as a teacher?
It's helped me because I use their feedback from their own classes. I like to hear what they like and what they don't like, and so I can kind of use that in my classroom.
Yeah.
Chromebooks can kind of be a lot all the time because you go from classes to class, and so I try now to incorporate more hands-on things and writing more, because we kind of got away from that for a bit. So I use what they like and what they don't like.
So you can kind of get some good feedback from them on what your students may enjoy, because they're similar age as they are.
Right.
Okay, and it's kind of nice when you see your kid in the hallway.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I didn't ever teach my kids, because by the time my oldest was coming into 7th grade, I was an assistant principal. So I never got to teach him or any of my kids, but I was at the same school as they were, And that was always fun because
Mm-hmm.
you get to kind of check in on them and see them during the day. Now, are you always excited to see your mom when you do see her, or do you kind of like get embarrassed?
I kind of get embarrassed.
She doesn't show it though. Brother shows it.
Yeah, he's like,
Jake's
oh,
like, get away
gosh."
from me.
Yeah, I'm going the other way,
Yeah.
the long way. Yes, I have a kid that like that, and then I have two other ones that one that will seek me out to give me a hug.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
then another one that when he sees me, he's just like, hey. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
No
What's your
deal.
name again?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. So that's fun, but I love that. And so, how do you balance being mom at home and Miss Yaws at school? Did you teach? Did you ever have them in class?
I did, because whenever she was in 6th grade, I was the only advanced reading teacher.
Okay.
And so
Was that an interesting?
it was funny because like after the first week, I was like, Allison, honey, you don't have to call me Mrs. Yaws.
Yeah.
You can still call me mom even
Yeah.
in the classroom. But
Because everybody knows that's your mom. You know. So.
yeah, it's no secret.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, and I got lucky because she doesn't try to, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
She wasn't one to try and get in my space or sit in my chair or do, she
probably was actually trying to act the opposite.
be the opposite,
and
yes.
not draw attention to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I was telling Allison and Miss Yaws before we started that this is going to be a fun episode for me because I am also a teacher's kid. And then I was a teacher and had kids in my school. So my dad is a retired educator. And so I remember he taught at the high school level. He was a coach. And I think he's coached Jake in baseball in Little League. So you guys kind of know him. But whenever he taught at the high school, the intermediate school is over here, right, where the middle school is now. And I would walk to the high school because intermediate got out earlier than high school, and I got to always see his last period class. And I'm sure I was very annoying to them because I was this little intermediate school kid and coming to this little and the big high schoolers, I used to think they were so big. But it was always fun for me because I got to be a part, like you said, he would ask me questions about what I thought about some lessons that he taught. And then I got to have my dad too because it was kind of the same situation where he was the only teacher that taught the course. And I actually had him twice because I had him when I was a freshman because he taught history, and then he taught a dual credit U.S. history class. So I got to have him again. And it was fun. My dad was a great teacher, just like your mom. So I got to see that in action and see how he reacted and interacted with kids. And a lot of people liked him like they like your mom. So that was a good experience for us. But I remember him telling me, no, I can't give you any special privileges, and I can't.
Right.
And if people think that, they might ask you, do you have the answers? And you're definitely not going to have the answers, and you're going to have to earn what you get and everything too. So yeah, that was fun, but it was a good experience. It kind of similar to what y'all just said. All right, Allison, what's it like having your mom work at your school? I kind of talked a little bit about it, but can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
It's kind of weird sometimes, but there's definitely some good things and bad things about it.
Yeah. So what's one of the best parts about it?
She's there for me, like if I ever need anything.
Uh-huh.
I can just go to her classroom.
If you forget to sign,
Yeah.
This is what I would do.
That happened today,
Okay.
actually.
I forgot. I would be like, Dad, can you sign this? I forgot to get it signed, but I knew my dad worked there, so I could just go get it signed.
Yeah.
Or if I needed money,
Yeah.
I could go by and get money easily. Yeah, so I kind of felt the same way. What makes it kind of awkward about it, or not so great?
Well, whenever kids will come up to me in the hallway or just be like, hey, are you Miss Yaws' daughter?
Yeah.
Or like they'll be behind me and be like, I think that's Miss Yaws' daughter. Or whenever she like shows embarrassing pictures of me and my brother.
Oh, yeah.
I love doing that.
Especially
I
when
try
was
and
in her
incorporate
class.
all their
Oh.
pictures, yeah.
Yes, I love that. Hey, one day you could do that for your own kids. But that's funny. I love that. My dad did stuff like that too. So my dad's thing was he always would sing happy birthday to anybody whose birthday it was. Like he would do this thing where he would get the class involved, and it was just a regular birthday song, but he would be like, happy birthday to you, and he would get everybody else to say doo-wop, doo-wop, and then he would keep singing the song, and they would always say that on that pause part. So he would always do that for everybody else, okay? And then he would give them a peppermint. He always had peppermints. So when I was a freshman at the high school, already really self-conscious about everything because I'm a freshman, all these older kids, nervous about school and stuff. He I remember he got on, in my first period class, he went to the office and got on the intercom. You know how they do the announcements?
Mm-hmm.
He got on the intercom and was like, "Attention students, today is a very special day." It was my birthday. And he wanted me to think that he was doing this over the whole school, so I would get embarrassed. Because he had done it before at like a pep rally in middle school. He really did a lot of embarrassing things. But I didn't hear anybody in the class next to us laughing or anything, and the doors were open, like the classroom doors. So I kind of was skeptical. I think he was just doing it in my classroom. But he wanted me to think.
He got you for a minute, I'm sure. Yeah.
It was the whole school. So I get that. And it is awkward when people ask you, "Oh, is Miss Yaws your mom?" And you're thinking, "Yeah," and then you don't know what they're gonna say. Yes. How should I?
Or should I deny it?
Yeah. But knowing your mom, it's probably always good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, do you feel any extra pressure about being a teacher's kid?
Yeah. Whenever it's like the second week of school, or one of the weeks of school, whenever we start getting real assignments, I always feel like I have to do 100%. Like, I cannot get anything wrong because my mom knows my teachers.
Uh-huh.
So she'll know anything.
And if anything happens at school, she's going to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to us too. In fact, I always tell the story that the last time I got in really big trouble, like from my parents, was in 8th grade. So just like you. My journalism teacher emailed my dad and said that I needed to be a lawyer because I argued with her about my grade in class that day. And my dad did not think that was very funny. And so I got in trouble because he read between the lines there. Like, I was disrespectful, so I should not have been doing that. So I was really so
Was that
annoyed.
about the time of Clueless?
Yeah.
Remember
right?
She would argue with her teacher.
Yeah. That's right. It didn't work out. But let's just lay it out there. I will still go to this day and say that I was right about my grade, but I shouldn't have pushed it that far because I probably did cross that line. I probably should have let it go. But yeah, my dad didn't think that was very funny, but because she knew he was a teacher, she just, emailed him and said, whatever. So she wouldn't have done that if it was a regular parent, because back then email was new. They didn't email parents back then, So what about some perks? What do you think are some perks about being a teacher's kid that other people don't have?
I feel like all my teachers, some kids always get called the wrong names because their teachers don't know who they are. Yeah. Especially when it's a new semester. But the teachers always know who I am, and they're always like, "Hey, I know your mom. Yeah. She's really nice. You look just like her." And I'm just like, "Thank you."
Or they've seen you in the hall with your mom or something, and so they know who you are. I feel like it does, without even them doing it on purpose. Maybe it allows them to trust you more from the get-go because they already know who you are, right?
Yeah, so, I'll always get sent to do errands and stuff.
Yeah, they feel like they can trust you. That's good. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break from those questions. We're going to have a little fun with some random questions. Some of these were submitted by students in the district, and we're going to see how you guys do. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the first question is always something that I ask every single guest that's on the podcast, and it kind of gives us an insight on who they are and a little bit of a peek into their personality. So what is one random thing in your room at home, Allison, that has a story behind it that's meaningful to you?
I have this sign, and it says, "A girl without freckles is like a night without stars."
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Because I have a lot of freckles, and my grandma gave it to me, and I also had a necklace of it. So it's just kind of funny getting to see that. Yeah. Because I have a lot of freckles, and so does a lot of my family.
Yeah. But that's kind of cool because that tells a little story about who you are and your family and stuff too. I love that. Okay, so Miss Yaws, what about your classroom? Something in your classroom that's random maybe, has a story behind it that's meaningful to you.
This one is a bit odd. It's from my mom too, from her grandma also. She gave it to me, I think maybe my first year of teaching. It's this little girl, and she's bald, but her head is a magnet, and it's where I keep my paper clips.
Oh, yeah.
And so
That's funny.
it's the main attraction every year. The kids
Oh,
always
wanna
mess
play
with
with
the
it?
paper clips to do her hair and
Yeah.
mohawks and all that. So
That's
I would say
awesome.
probably that. Yeah.
It's been a favorite for a long
Yeah,
time.
for a
Your
while.
Mom did a great job there with that one. I love that. Okay, so question number 2, Allison. What's your favorite drink to order? You can pick a Sonic or Starbucks, or you can tell me both. You know your order at both of those places for a drink.
My Sonic drink, I usually like ocean waters.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. What about Starbucks when you go there?
It kind of depends. Sometimes I'll get like a pink drink,
Yeah.
or sometimes I'll get like a frappuccino.
Okay, so just kind of what your
Yeah.
mood is at that time. Do you ever get anything hot?
I don't
No.
like hot drinks. I don't
Oh,
like
really?
hot chocolate. None
Yeah.
of that.
Okay. All right. That's valid. Okay, so Miss Yaws, what about you? Sonic and Starbucks. What would you get there?
My Sonic drink is boring. I just like a good old Diet Coke.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
classic.
And Starbucks, it's funny because I get it every time, and every time I have to look up what it's named because I can never remember the order of the words. It's something like a shaken brown sugar oat milk espresso.
Oh.
I think I might have gotten it right that time.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but it's an ice drink, and it's not too sweet. And
But it's just
It's
like,
good.
just
yeah, just
perfection.
enough.
Love it. Hey, speaking of Diet Coke, if you're a Diet Coke fan, have you seen the new Owala bottles that have the Diet Coke
No.
Social Club? They're really cute. It's like a Target special edition. You should look it up. I don't know how I'm supposed to promote things later, but Miss Jenkins loves Diet Coke.
Okay.
And she got one for Christmas, and she was showing me, and it is really cute. So if you're like a Diet Coke
We
fan,
didn't see that.
the Diet
She got
Coke
one
Social
for
Club.
Christmas in a Walla bottle. We
Oh,
didn't
really?
see that one. We'll
It's
have
really,
to look it up.
It is really cute. It's like very retro looking, and you know, it's really cute. Okay, so if you could travel anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go, Allison?
Greece.
Yes, I
It's
love
so
that.
pretty, and I like the water. It's like a really pretty blue. It's
Mhm.
not like brown like Galveston.
Yeah, yes, I know, right? We don't have good beaches.
No.
But yeah, no, that would be fun. What about you, Jamie?
I was just talking about this. I don't really know. I would say somewhere, maybe one of those cabanas on stilts over the water. I don't care where. Just one
Yeah.
of those little places
Peaceful.
by myself out there with
Yep.
the family.
Yeah, would you bring a book to read? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Nice.
Kindle would be
Ah, yes.
all
okay.
the downloaded options on
Yes.
there. Or maybe something like Montana. I would like a dude ranch. My husband would not like a dude ranch, but
Yeah.
I would.
Does he like the beach?
He does like the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
He likes the fishing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, maybe he could do fishing in Montana while you were there. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. This summer we're going to Glacier National Park in
Nice.
Montana. So I'm
Okay.
excited about that. Yeah.
Miss Peeler, Lisa Peeler just got back from Montana. She went over
really?
Christmas break. Yeah.
Okay. I have to check in with her.
Mhm.
The weather won't be the same then, but so she probably saw a lot of snow, huh?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was beautiful. So.
Whitefish. I think that's where she went.
Oh yeah, it's right there at the
Okay.
base of Glacier National Park.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I was doing my research on where we had to stay,
Yeah.
that like
Her
is where-
pictures were beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Okay, so Allison, what do you want to be when you grow up? That's a big question, I'm sure.
It's still hard to
You
decide,
can have multiple options. It's fine.
but I either want to be a veterinarian
Uh huh.
because I really like animals.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like a doctor,
But what do your parents say?
but my parents tell me that I could not go seeing animals hurt.
Yeah. That's the part of it that people don't talk about as much because it's not the good part, but it is a
Yeah.
realistic part of it.
But I also want to be an anesthesiologist
Oh,
because I've heard they make a lot of money.
Yeah, and you know what? My friend she's not going to be an anesthesiologist because that is a lot of school. I mean, because it's a doctor, right? Which you could totally do. But if you're wanting a shorter track option that still has a good income with it, is a nurse, anesthetist, which is the nurse of the anesthesiologist. But they can do most things that anesthesiologists can do as well. So they also are one of the highest paid nurses. I mean, it's almost like right there underneath the anesthesiologist. So just
That's an option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Awesome. So what about you, Jamie? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I like where I am.
So did you always want to be a teacher when you were younger?
I did. I was one of those that played school with my friends
Yep,
at the
me too.
boards, and that's been my only profession is with kids.
Really?
I mean, babysitting, and then I've worked in several daycares, and then substituting,
Yep.
and here.
Yep.
So I did. My mom did make me branch out. I had a stint in Gadzooks in College Station.
I forgot all about Gadzooks.
Yeah, Gadzooks. And then I was a telemarketer in high school for Allstate, where I called and would ask people if they wanted quotes.
Was that hard?
It was awful.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah.
They probably hung up on you all the time.
It lasted a couple of months. So I do at least have those, for a resume under my belt, but
Okay.
it's always been a teacher.
That's interesting. You're talking about Gadzooks. That just is like a blast from the past. And it's not totally the same. 'Cause Gadzooks sell clothing too.
Yeah.
But today I was talking to Miss Hobson, and she was talking about how she was the manager at Claire's when she was 19.
Oh, and now that would have been a good gig.
Yes. I love that. You don't even know what Gadzooks is, do you?
No.
Jinkos, and you remember those big trucker hats, and those are big
That would
sellers.
probably be popular now, honestly.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
baggy pants and the trucker hats. That's pretty much what you would wear now.
Yep.
That's funny. All right, so the last question. You talked about this a little bit, but but you said your favorite subject is science. Has it kind of always been that way, or does it fluctuate, change?
It kind of changes. It's mostly depending on my teacher.
Okay, yeah.
If I have an amazing teacher or one that it's really really funny and I can talk to, then I usually like that subject the best.
Okay, so who's your science teacher this year?
Miss Daniels.
Oh, shout out to Miss Daniels. Yes, you're going to have to tell her that we gave her a shout out, okay? Yes, she's really great. Yeah, Brazos has her too, so that's awesome. Okay, so Miss Yaws, what is your favorite subject to teach, like even grade level?
I think 6th grade has been my favorite.
Okay.
They're still, and especially I think the dynamics of the middle school helps. They're the youngest on the campus. I like that aspect. They're fun. I don't know. They get the sarcasm. They know that sometimes teachers are human and we have bad days. They're not like the younger ones where they cry and I won't tie
Can't handle it,
shoes
yeah.
and yeah. So, but I think 6th grade reading is where I like it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're right there where it is
Yep.
in your jam there. I love
And the
it.
content. I like the books we read and all
What's
that
your
stuff.
favorite novel that y'all study?
6th grade in Stafford, we read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and
Oh,
that's
that's
one of my
fun.
favorite books.
Yes.
And here at LMS, I would say probably Holes.
Yeah.
But this year we're incorporating The Lightning Thief. We're going to read it for the first time.
That's going to be fun.
I love that series.
Yeah.
And so we're going to read that. That might be my new favorite.
And that goes with Percy Jackson,
It
right?
does.
And then do you watch the show on Netflix?
Yes, that's
It
Allison and I
just came out
show.
with some new episodes.
Yeah, 2nd season's out.
Because my oldest son and my husband watch.
Mm-hmm.
They always watch it together, so they were watching that over
The movies are good, and the new series is
Yeah.
good. So,
Love
and the
that.
books are good. I've read the series for
Yeah.
the books too. So I'm
Awesome.
excited about that.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna jump back into some more of these questions here. Starting off with you, Miss Yaws. Has having Allison as a student at LMS influenced the way you approach teaching or relationships with families, like parents?
It's made it easier because, especially when she was in 6th grade anyway, because I know the parents, because I see them outside of school, and especially with like Jake's friends too, it's easy just to pick up the phone and send a quick text and like, hey.
Y'all were already friends, and
Yeah.
yeah. So did you teach before you had kids also?
Yes.
So I did as well, sort of. I sort of did, but I remember how different it was after I had kids. I feel like I was able to relate more to
Yeah,
parents.
for sure.
And you could say things like, well, as a mom, I understand how you feel,
Yeah.
and those kind of things. So that's always helpful when you can see it from that perspective. So yeah, that's interesting. What's one thing you learned about middle schoolers by teaching them that has really helped you as a parent of middle schoolers?
To show more empathy, because I can kind of see and hear the conversations in the hallway, and I know this is an age group where you get embarrassed really easily, and so it's easy to kind of put it into context that way because I see it every day, and so when I see my own kids going through things, it makes it easier to relate.
Yeah, and then you can have those quality / maybe courageous conversations with your kids because you see how some kids are struggling with different things, and you want to make sure that your kids are not having to struggle with those things, that you can help them through those things
Right.
as well. So yeah, that's good. All right, Allison, how does seeing your mom as a teacher affect the way you view other teachers?
I feel like I can talk to them more because I kind of feel like I see them a lot more.
Because we're just people.
Yeah, and they're like my mom's friends. And she always texts them, talks to them, so I feel like I know them more.
And I'm sure you also see all the work that goes into being a teacher. It's not just what they do during the class, but all the stuff they do at home or after school, before school.
Yeah.
And that kind of helps you to see, like, to appreciate and understand what they do as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that too. Okay, so how do you keep school and home life separate when you're on the same campus? Does that have ever been an issue?
No, when we're at home, we leave school behind.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to take that break.
Yeah, and I got lucky because both my kids are great, and so I don't have to deal with discipline issues like at school and then bring them home, and so that's really it's a non-issue for us.
But it would probably, I think that's really great what you said, because if you are a parent, it probably is good to explore those boundaries with your kids, especially if your kids are coming up to the age group that you teach, so that you can make sure that you do separate that. I think that's important, so that they know that when you're home, you're mom. And for me, as a mom, it was especially hard when you're an administrator and a mom.
Oh, for sure.
And one time, my oldest, Hudson, he did tell me, which kind of made me sad, but it really opened my eyes to take a step back, is he said, you don't have to try to be my principal at home. You know, I was okay, calm down. Yes, I hear what you're saying. So he just wanted me to be mom and listen and, you know, whatever. So that sometimes we struggle with that as parents, but, you know, that it was a good reminder. All right, so what's one misconception people might have about being a teacher and a student on the same campus that you want to clear up? So what do you think people think? What are some ideas that people think you get perks that you get because your mom's a teacher?
Like, I'm always going to be the favorite. Or if I try out for something, I'm immediately going to make it 100%. Just multiple things about favoritism. Yeah. And so do you kind of have to do what you're doing so that other people see it's not about that for you, right? Yeah. And that sometimes it really is hard because you can't change their perceptions of you all the time. Yeah.
But you just have to make sure that you're doing what's right. And that's what I tell my kids too. You just have to do what's right. And sometimes it will work in your favor, and you might get trusted more than other students because they do know you, like you talked about earlier, with running errands and stuff like that. But then sometimes they don't want to show favor. They don't want it to be so. They want to be more discreet about it. They don't want to be so blatant that they are showing favoritism to you, so you don't get the special treatment that other people may get anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Like student of the month or something like that, because they're afraid that if they pick you as student of the month, then other kids will say, oh, you just got that because your mom is a teacher, you know, or whatever. Which kind of is sad, but I'm glad you have a good attitude about it. What advice would you give to other families who may be in a similar situation, some other teachers' kids, where a parent works on campus and their child attends school there? What would you say to them, Allison?
Don't care about others, like, saying that you're always going to be the favorite and stuff. Just know that if you act good in school, then you can be. Like,
it would just be a genuine act of kindness towards you. It wouldn't be because your mom is a teacher.
Yeah.
It would be because of your behavior and how you respect others, right?
Yeah, like, because I'm a good kid, that's why sometimes I might get trusted a little more. Yeah, I love that. What about you, Miss Yaws? Do you have any advice to other people who younger teachers or teachers that are maybe entering the profession and they're about to be a teacher at their kids' campus? What would you?
I would say that it's okay to blur the lines sometimes. Sometimes I need to be mom at school and give the hug in the hallway or invite you into my classroom during Raider hour.
To check
like if your friends aren't at campus and you don't know where to go, because it can be kind of overwhelming to be like, hey, let's go have a picnic in the classroom. Yeah. Or just to be mom first, because that's what I am.
Yeah, mom and first. I think it's also cool because your friends that you have at school, they probably trust your mom, like, you know, because they know her from being your friend before they even knew her as Miss Yaws. So
I think that was probably the hardest, actually, not with my own kids, but with
when you taught them
the friends of my kids, because I think it was harder for them to be like, okay, this is Miss Jami, but it's also Miss Yaws, and so those lines kind of get blurred. But anyway, but I
have to set those boundaries and hear about them. Yeah. But I think that's awesome. Well, you guys are amazing, and Allison, I can tell everybody, you are a good kid. If your last name was not Yaws, it was something else, and you didn't have a mom that was on campus, you would still be awesome and amazing, and we would have lots of trust in you just because of who you are and the decisions that you make and the respect that you give to other people. So I want you to keep doing that. Yep.
Thank you.
And good luck with Raider Red Tryouts. When does that?
Thank you. I think it's like February 23rd through the 26th, but the actual like tryouts are the 26th.
Oh, that's so exciting. I know, I'm so excited for you. Okay, well, good luck with all those things. What's your favorite, I didn't get to ask you this earlier, but I love hearing these things. What's your favorite style of dance?
I really like jazz
Because
it's not like really slow like lyrical or ballet,
but
it's also not like all fast and hard. Like it's
like
just in the middle.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. What was your favorite style of dance?
It was jazz and tap in the studio, but for Victoria Doors, it was the high kick. I like the kick line.
Yep, that's awesome. And you're pretty tall. I guess.
5'6", yeah.
So did you get to when they would do the kick line where you kind of
I was
towards
usually
the middle?
in the middle. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, we would leave stage with lipstick on our shins and that
you
adrenaline. You just kick your own face.
Yep, love that. That's awesome. Have you ever tried to do the splits in a while?
Yeah, I can still do my left split.
Oh, that is impressive. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. I don't know that I could. And my left split was actually my best split too. And I did cheer, but I mean, we had to do splits and stretch and stuff. But and even when I was coaching cheer 5 or 6 years ago, I could still do a toe touch, but it wasn't as great. But I remember being sore, really sore, and I need to start stretching again so I can get some of my flexibility back, because that probably help in other areas. But I'm definitely not as flexible as I used to be. So yeah, well, it happens when you get older. All right. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Raider Reach, and we hope that you enjoyed hearing their story and the other stories in our Raider Reach episodes that make our district and community so special. Remember, it's all about making an impact in the classroom, our lives, and our world. You can find us on all podcast platforms, so be sure to subscribe and share this episode with others in our community. Join us next time as we continue to reach out and share more Raider stories. But until then, let's stay connected, let's stay inspired, and let's keep making an impact. Bye!
Bye. Thanks for having us.